A lot of people in our territory are keeping an eye on the Diageo project, especially when it comes to local hiring. News Channel 8's Wes Small has the details.
Diageo is coming to town, and one of the questions on everyone's mind are locals going to be hired? And that's, of course, something we've been looking at ever since the whole Venza refinery situation. And during these hard economic times, this is an important issue. Right now, I'm with two gentlemen, two of the front runners for Diageo. One on my left here is the Vice President of Diageo for United States Virgin Islands, Mr. Dan Kirby. And on my right here is Mr. Mike Jappy, who is the Diageo Manager of Operations, right underneath Mr. Kirby. I'd like to start with Mr. Kirby. And first of all, let's get it right out on the open. Have you started hiring contractors yet? Has the bidding process started?
Yes, the bidding process has started. We have hired our three major contractors, which is Veolia, which is NAW Water Systems, Thompson Distill, and James Benton Construction. They're the three major contractors that we've hired for the project. Now, underneath them is a second layer of contractors, people that will perform various aspects of the construction for them. They have hired a company by the name of URCVI, which is a design build company that assists them in providing the inputs to be able to build a facility, as well as working with the civil construction part of the project. Now, there is a third layer of subcontractors that now will report up to URCVI, and that's the process we're in right now.
Have your contractors gone through the proper and legal bidding process?
For all the labor jobs, yes, they've absolutely posted everything with the Department of Labor that they need to for any roles that they're going to have on the island. Yes.
All right. And as far as safety issues are concerned, I heard you on the airwaves talking about OSHA and some other aspects of safety. It seems to be on your top priority.
Well, when we actually select subcontractors, there's a variety of different criteria that we use, and obviously safety is one of them. But there's a lot of other things like schedules, cost, different things like that that we need to ensure that are in place, prior to us for hiring somebody. So it's kind of like a pre-qualification exercise that we go through.
What are you doing to make sure that locals will be working mainly, almost 100% locals, on this Diageo project?
We've absolutely insisted with our major contractors, and they've actually insisted with their contractors below them to make sure we are hiring local labor to complete the work here. In most parts, we have done that, and we want to make sure that there's going to be situations in all jobs where you can't find the talent or the resources on the island, that you may have to go elsewhere. But in this piece of it, we are firmly committed to the government, the USVI government, and ourselves that we will hire locally. Unfortunately, I think part of what this issue raised lately has been that we hadn't communicated wide enough out to folks out there that potentially could be able to provide their services to us. So we have definitely taken a step in the right direction to make sure that anything that's required, any kind of scope of work, we're going to post it in the newspaper, we're going to put it on the radio, so that we give folks the opportunity to be able to come in and pre-qualify for the work.
In the short term, what we plan to do is we plan to publicise any openings we have much more widely than we've done to date. I mean, the big lesson I think we've taken from the last few days is we need to reach out and touch the local population a bit more than we've done. So we've taken that on board. We will advertise in the press, we will advertise through the likes of yourself and the radio stations. Going forward, once we start to get to the stage where we start to employ Diageo employees, not contractors, but Diageo employees, again, we'll be going through a very similar process. We'll post everything through the Department of Labour and through the local channels as well.
Is there any more information you'd like to put out for tonight's broadcast before we say goodnight?
No, I think we are firmly committed to the USVI. We're going to be here for a very long time, and we want to ensure that we work very well with the folks on the island. We are going to be great corporate citizens on the islands.
All right. Now, how can people get in contact with you just for if they'd like to get an application and maybe they'd like to get a jump start and so forth?
Within the next 2 weeks, we're going to be setting up an office right in Christiansted. It will be a Diageo office that people will be able to come in and actually see. Mike and I will be there, and we'll be more than willing and able to take any applications and things like that.
Well, we'll help you out. What we'll do is News Channel 8 will partner with you, and I'll make sure that I make a news story out of it once that office is set up. Then I'll be down there with you, and we'll make sure that we get the locals to come in and get working, okay?
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
No, thank you. Thank you. All right. Very good. We're always looking for good corporate sponsors, and I have a gut feeling that Diageo is going to be one of them. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes. We have more news for you after the break. Stay with us on Channel 8. We could be seeing a historical situation on St. Thomas involving Judge Leon Kendall. Here's News Channel 8's Lee Carl to tell us more.
Is on the oath. Judge Leon Kendall, July 7, 2009 opinion contained numerous inflammatory remarks and other characterizations that appear calculated and intended to prejudice this court in public estimation. So said the VI Supreme Court order as the VI Supreme Court questions the legal opinion in the Fred murder case. The Supreme Court asking VI Superior Court Judge Leon Kendall to show why he should not be held in contempt of court for a legal opinion he wrote last month about the High Court ruling in the Basham Ford and Germaine Paris murder case. The latest wrinkle in the pending murder trial for the brothers who were charged with the February 8, 2007 killing of an off-duty police officer, Ariel Fred, was found shot to death. Ford, by the way, was found shot to death in Market Square just more than a week ago. Now it's Paris who will face the trial. The legal battle surrounding the case started when Judge Kendall ordered the prosecution to uphold a plea deal of involuntary manslaughter despite protestations from the Assistant Attorney General, Jesse Bethel, that he misspoke offering the deal on a voicemail of the defense attorney and meant to offer a voluntary manslaughter plea. The Attorney General, Vincent Fraser, filed a motion with the VI Superior Court challenging the lower court's ruling, and the High Court ruled in the government's favor, reversing Kendall's decision. Kendall then published a 32-page opinion recusing himself from the case and disagreeing with the High Court's opinion. In an order issued Thursday, the VI Supreme Court, the local VI Supreme Court, set a show cause hearing November 6th for Kendall to prove why he should not be held in contempt for refusing to comply with an appellate court's mandate and making what they described as inflammatory remarks about a High Court decision in a published opinion. It is well established that the trial court judges do not possess immunity from being held in contempt of a higher court. So the order says that Kendall has recused himself from the case, and there is no way for him to comply with the previous order by setting a trial date and therefore satisfying the High Court's ruling. The Supreme Court may hold him in contempt. Judge Kendall's July 7, 2009 opinion contained numerous inflammatory remarks and other characterizations, the court said, that appear that this court in public estimation destroyed or called in doubt its function and position as the highest local court of the Virgin Islands, and to reduce confidence in the administration of justice in this jurisdiction, so said the order. You recall, July 7th opinion, Kendall repeatedly said the VI Supreme Court findings were erroneous and made no sense. Thursday's Supreme Court order said Kendall's opinion reviews the correctness of the court's action. The order said Kendall could have gone to the U.S. Third Circuit Court of Appeals if he wanted to review that opinion. Meantime, according to the order, Kendall must now show why he should not be held in contempt for obstructing the administration of justice, failing to comply with the court's May order, and misbehaving in his official transactions as an officer of the court. After Kendall recused himself in July, the case was transferred to Superior Court Judge James Carroll III. The trial date has been set for November 23rd. We'll have to wait and see what happens on this, but Kendall once again had recused himself from this case, but you remember, has also resigned as of October. In St. Thomas, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.